All right, what's up, people? So, this first episode of this little series is just going to be us breaking down how to find a daily bias on your whatever pair you're trading, right? So, for this example, I'm going to be using, let's use the NASDAQ. I'm going to be using the NASDAQ chart for today. So, what you want to start off in, obviously, is go to the daily chart, right? This is how you're going to be able to predict a good percentage of the time where a market wants to go, right? So, just by looking at the daily on NASDAQ, you can see we've been on a clear what? Clear uptrend, right? So already we have a bullish bias going into this, right? And you don't even have to go that far. You can just look at the previous days, like even last week or 2 weeks ago, just recognizing this big uptrend move we have going, right? So we're going to be predicting it, or not predicting, I'm going to be showing you how to predict it a good amount of times just by looking at the candles, right? So you want to pay attention to the daily close. What I mean by that, right? We're going to talk about the bullish perception. So if bullish, I'm going to zoom in real nice here for you. If bullish, you want to pay attention to previous day high, right? So you can see right here. This was your previous day high. And look what market did. Right here, hold on. Point right there, boom. So this is your previous day high. The next day, we're anticipating what? That high to be taken out and closed above, right? Boom, we got it. Okay, sweet. Same thing going into this day. We want to anticipate this high getting closed above and taken out. What happens the next day? Get a big move up, and it does exactly that. Okay, we closed bullish, so we're still anticipating the same thing. Here is where it gets a little tricky. We anticipate this high to get taken out and closed above. We got it taken out, but we never closed above it here. So that would just be considered a liquidity sweep, right? However, you can see how the candle, if I just zoom in even more, the candle closed bearish, right? So at this point, you want to see what? Instead of the high being taken out the next day, the following day, you want to see the low get taken out. And do we get that here? We'll find out. So the low of this candle of this day was 477.90, 477.88. That's how close it was for it to get taken out. So that doesn't even matter. You know why? Because this day closed bullish. So we're going to continue this uptrend by anticipating the next day to be what? Bullish, right? Because this day closed bullish, the next day we're anticipating a closure and the raid above the previous day's high. And we got that here. Right? So if you guys understand so far what the pattern is here, is basically if you're bullish, right? If you're bullish, if you end up bullish on one day, the next day we should anticipate that previous day's high to get ran above and closed, so we can get our bias going for the day, right? It's not always going to be the case. You can see it's not always going to be the case because you had days like this. However, even on a day like this, we still ran above that previous day high, and that's the most important thing, right? So on the bearish side, let me actually find a bearish trend here for you. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we'll just look at the recent NASDAQ trend that's been happening. So you can see right here, continuing our pattern that we just keep doing. Previous day high, it got taken out, swept. However, this time we didn't close above it. We swept it and made this big displacement down. So going into the next day, I'm anticipating what? Instead of the high being taken out, I'm anticipating previous day low to get taken out. And that's what we had here. Previous day low got taken out. And then we closed bullish, creating this massive high move, this massive swing high up here. So the next day, I'm going to anticipate that high to get taken out. Boom. And it did. We never closed though. Notice the pattern that's going on here. We're not closing. That's telling us what? That buyers are starting to get weak, right? So we have this boom, we have the sweep right here, and we still end up closing bullish. However, the next day doesn't end up going for that high. Instead, we go for previous day low. That's major bearish signal going for us, right? We didn't go for that high. We went for that low. That's telling us something. What's that telling us? That the next day we had a big move like this. A big move. This was, if I remember, this was a 2. Yeah. So a 3% day came right after this move. Came right after this candle, right? So we went for that low. Now going into this day, I'm anticipating what? Right? This low to get taken out. The next day, that's exactly what we do. And we closed under it. So the day after that, what am I anticipating? Again, that low to be taken out. Right? So it's you if you understand the pattern going on here, when a day closes bullish, I'm gonna write this down, matter of fact. When candle, I should write daily candle closes bullish, anticipate next day to go for that high. If closure ends up being above pre-day high, the trend will likely continue, right? So I want you guys to just write this down in your notepad or whatever. You should really be having a notepad when taking notes like this, but that's the biggest thing, right? And same thing goes vice versa. So we'll just mark it right here. Bearish. Go for that low. Not under. It's the same thing. So it's vice versa. I'm gonna have it right here so you guys can write it down. But it's vice versa, right? So if you're bearish, if you have a black, for example, my up candles are white, my down candles are black. If you have a black candle or bearish day, anticipate the next day to be bearish, right? Or at least go for that low, right? Right here. Even in an uptrend, we had a bearish day. What happens? Price comes in, sweeps that low, and keeps going higher, right? So it's just just a little like help for finding a daily bias. Like going into today, we already see this right here. This placement right here. Right. Yesterday, this is Tuesday. Well, today is still Tuesday, but market just opened. So this is Tuesday. Wednesday's candle, I'm anticipating to aim for these lows, and we already did that. Look where we're at. Right? Now, it'll be interesting to see where market opens up tomorrow morning, but that is where we find our bias. So we anticipate a bearish bias just by looking at this. And, we have this downtrend now. But that is pretty much how I look for my biases going into every day. That's how I anticipate what tomorrow's move will be or what the drawn liquidity would be for the next day, right? So just a quick recap, right? If you have an up candle on one day, if you have a bullish candle one day, the next day anticipate what? The previous day high to get taken. If you have a bearish candle on the daily, anticipate what? The next day to sweep out that low, right? That is what is going to elevate your trading level from this to that. If you can obviously understand it. So if you need to rewatch the video, go ahead. Discord link. We have free live trading every day. Links in the descriptions. It's our little Discord here. Right now we're at 277 members. We're trying to get to 400 by the end of August. So make sure to join and yeah, man, stay active with it. Peace.